Last but not least, we have David Hanley, co-founder and founder and CEO of Tomorrow. Dave actually has a very unique and interesting background. From serving as a Fulbright scholar in Bangladesh, working with Muhammad Yunus at Grameen Bank, to starting two companies, one sold to Amazon and the other sold to Deloitte. He's had a very fulfilling career. Most recently, after serving as a partner at Deloitte for a couple of years, he launched Tomorrow two years ago, which is an app that helps people become more financially secure by both allowing them to create a will and a trust, as well as selling term life insurance. So Dave?
Great. Well, we started working on it 2 years ago, but we just launched 7 weeks ago. So in case you're wondering, I'm wondering if our friends in AV, if you have an iPhone adapter for HDMI, I would love to show everyone the app. I'm also going to back up about 15 slides to start. So just to paint a picture here. So 1979 to 2012, Ben, my best friend and a larger-than-life character, passed away, leaving a wife and 2 beautiful children. You really never know what's going to happen tomorrow. In life and in death, we have huge financial and legal responsibilities, and yet we don't address them. Each of us have seen one of these GoFundMe campaigns for someone, these memorial campaigns with someone who looks just like us. They're doing everything right, but they never got around to buying life insurance or to creating a will. This is what the data looks like. Right now, half of all American households would have an immediate financial crisis, unable to pay their bills, if anything happened to an earner. 2/3 of Americans don't have a will. If you're under 40, it's 78% of Americans don't have a will. So the primary parents of young children in America do not have guardianship established for their children. 3/4 of Americans don't own their own life insurance policy. A trust outlines all the rules and all the procedures for taking care of your family over time, and yet only 5% of Americans have them. And why is this? It's bureaucratic, it's expensive, it's time-consuming. But what if it didn't have to be? When we looked at this, when we looked at the need, we thought, this is really where it begins. If you really want to have financial security for your family, it starts with having an outline of what you need, a will and a trust that are easily accessible and updatable, and then the proper amount of life insurance to make sure that your family will be secure. And that's what we built. And so as we look at Tomorrow, we have, so much about wills and trusts and life insurance they live below what we think of as the joy line. There's a line above which things are fun, and I would say that insurance typically sits below those lines. Except, maybe tonight we'll all have some fun. But what we do is we focus on things like, how do you make sure that your kids, have their guardians? That's a good thing. More importantly, you actually want to go to Hawaii after you have a kid, and you don't want to bring that kid. But your spouse is not willing to get on a plane until you do a few things. That's a common reason why people come into Tomorrow. And so in Tomorrow, you decide what to give and who gets what, and we create all the documents that you need according to the needs of your family, your own decisions, and the laws of your state. The will and trust are completely free. Through this, we create, we learn about you and your family and your finances, and we can recommend just the right amount of life insurance to make sure you're all right. So if we could turn on the phone, would love to show you how this works. So you come into Tomorrow, and it's a very visual experience, right? So I come in, and this is me. This is my wife, Marin. I have 4 children, if you can believe it. And there's other family members and friends who are playing particular roles, which I'll show you. So when you come into Tomorrow, you actually need to assign people roles. So guardians for my kids, which has my sister Celeste here. We have executors for my will and trustee. There's animated videos that explain everything along the way, so you know exactly what happens. If you're like me, though, you made a decision, a family member moved out of state, and we wanted to make a change. So I can actually grab Amber here and move them around, or theoretically I can, but I just keep clicking on the wrong button, as demos do, and I can change their order, and next thing you know, the documents are updated, and we have the right guardian in the right place. You go through your assets. We need the address for your will, so that means that we actually know not only your address, but also the value from Zillow, and we can pull in your mortgage data. You sync all your bank and brokerage data. It's all part about funding your trust, making sure that there's enough there for your family. You walk around, take pictures of things that are in your house, decide who gets what. It's a piece of art that my wife painted, and you can pick people out to receive them. And then we take all that information and we create these wills and these trusts. So again, legal in all 50 states. We have an amazing attorney who designed all these, who works in-house for us, works with a network of 60 attorneys to ensure that they comply with local state laws. And you can print these out. You can send them to anyone, whatever you need to do to get them executed. Anyway, we take all this data and we pull in all of your assets, the ages of your children, and we recommend just the right amount of life insurance. So in this case, we're pulling into your expenses. So you have a mortgage. What debts do you have? What is it going to take care of your family? Replacement income. How much income are you going to need to take care of your family? How old are your kids? How much college savings do you currently have? What are you going to need to give them for college? And then you net out your assets. So what we've done then is created an integrated life insurance application that leverages all of your data that you have from the trust, and then asks you simply the life and lifestyle questions to autofill your application. We are a nationwide brokerage appointed with 9 carriers: AIG, Prudential, Protective, Banners, 5 others. And we come through and simply ask you questions like, have you traveled outside the U.S.? And do you do dangerous things? I do scuba diving. Have I had my license revoked? Am I on parole? No. And so it takes about 3 minutes to apply for life insurance inside the app, and then you're done. We focus on simplified issue where possible so that people can just get in and out. A little bit of launch information. So we just launched. We have thousands of users who have come in and used it. Turns out, we thought that maybe 0.5% of people would actually buy a life insurance policy. Turns out it's 2.5%. So they come in and they actually learn about it. They weren't planning to buy life insurance. They didn't wake up this morning and go to Quotacy and Policy Genius, all these great folks that make it very easy to buy a product. There's a very small percent of Americans that are that motivated and informed about life insurance. Instead, they came, they saw one particular value they wanted to do. They came in, they learned it. They're like, oh, I thought about buying life insurance once. 3 minutes later, they have a policy and they're done. So back to the slides. Just really quick, we love what we're doing. We've just launched. The docs, the last 3 states are coming in. These just happen to be complicated states. We have the nationwide brokerage in. We have lots of competitors. A lot of people on this are actually partners or potential partners of us with whom we work. The product that we create is you pay $500 to go and get this from the folks on the left. Again, the folks on the right are really meeting the needs of those who know about life insurance and are determined to buy it. An amazing team of people. We've all built and sold about 4 companies, 4 companies between us, and a really talented team. We have great investors. This number is now higher since I made this slide 2 weeks ago. We are funded by a group of really talented investors who plugged in, including a number of whom are in this room and investing. So please, you may have a will. It's probably out of date. You probably don't have a trust. Hopefully the folks in here are well insured. But just go, download the app. It's completely free. Use the free product. I don't care if you buy it, one of the policies. If your family needs this, though, please share it. And then in the end, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear more. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.